Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, my Ethiopian coffee that I roasted and ground this morning. This right here. This is why I do what I do. There's nothing I could ever buy in a store that would have this flavor. Never in a million years. Never. Incredible. What is your sweet spot? Your sweet spot, or a sweet spot, is a place on the bat, the golf club, the tennis racket, where a combination of factors result in maximum response. The ball goes farther and faster when it comes in contact with a sweet spot. What is the sweet spot in your career? I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions right now. What is the sweet spot in your career? What do you do that is so good, where whatever you do, you just hit it out of the park? What do you do that is so competitive that other people say, wow, when you do it? Question number 3, are you in a place where you can leverage your sweet spot? Or how can you get to that place? Most of you are probably slightly ADD, which means that you're not focusing on the one thing that you do super, super well. Question number 4, who needs to see your sweet spot in action? Absolute key for you to take off and get unstuck financially. 5, what are the other sweet spots that are on deck right now? What is your number 2 and number 3 and number 4 sweet spot? And how can you start prepping them for their time at bat? Sweet spot. You go further when there's a convergence of several factors, but the 2 most important things are what are you good at and what do you enjoy? You can be good at something but not enjoy it. You can enjoy something and not be good at it. But when you take those 2 factors and put them together, and other people see it, the right people see it, are willing to give you money for it or promote you for it, that's going to be the key to taking yourself to a level that you've never been before. This is universal, solid business advice. This is what has worked well for me. You know, the Oscars just haven't been the same since Obama had Joan Rivers assassinated. Anyone else find it peculiar how gun crimes are reported on TV? Everyone knows the exact model of the gun, but can't remember what the shooter looked like. I'm a huge fan of street hustlers. Actually, it takes perseverance, sales ability, and negotiating skills to sell watches in Manhattan. Just go to YouTube and look up street hustlers. Watch their hustle. See if you can learn something from it. A lot of people like talking about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. I like talking about John Paul DeJoria and Martha Stewart, 2 of my favorite entrepreneurs of all time. Martha Stewart, she was brilliant, practical, feet firmly planted on the ground, not wishful thinking. She didn't put it out in the universe. Sending positive vibes, sending light and love and energy. Bullshit. She was about action and traction. Martha Stewart was about action. I recommended Mark Burnett's book called Jump In. I want you to look at Martha Stewart's biography. That's your homework assignment for the next week. Read about Martha Stewart. Super important. Yes, this is a simulation. TV and modern media are the programming mechanism. Don't believe me? You probably never had people that want to hurt you because of who you voted for or what your opinion is and what you believe. Never in history in the United States has that ever happened. It happened once in recent history in Germany And it's happening now. People don't like you for who you voted for and what you believe. Things that were just thoughts are now thought crimes. Rise above. How is this possible? TV and media, constant programming. TV used to be about entertainment. Now it's about moving people en masse. Reverse engineer it and see for yourself. Some of the haters, you are the reason why God created middle fingers. From the makers of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, the societal re-engineering line of products for 2019 include It's Kind of Like Being Married, Let's Just Call Him Uncle Steve, Mommy's Roommate Ashley, John Likes Living Alone because he can't live with people, and Daddy's Lady Friend at the Office. From the makers of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. He that thinketh by the inch and talketh by the yard should be kicketh by the foot. Walter Johnson. When people aren't on time, blow off meetings, call or text last minute to cancel on a fairly regular basis, they are screaming that they are unreliable. They don't respect you or your time. Smile and move on. Let them do that to someone else. You are no longer participating in that. You are no longer arguing with men. You are no longer arguing with women. And you are going to add a different person to your mix of people, to your posse, because you are becoming the average of the 5 people you are hanging out with. Add someone successful to that bunch. Don't like where you're at? One of the easiest ways to do something about that is to hang out with a different bunch of people. You'll change. You'll see. Keep your chin up. It gets better every day. Your future is so fucking bright. You have no idea the good stuff in store for you. Play your cards right. Do what I tell you to do on the Daybreak Show, or at least consider it, and everything's going to work out. Ladies, forget the filters in the camera. Filters are the new Photoshop. The last thing a dude is want to meet you for coffee, then go straight to the men's room to see if what's on his phone is what he just met 5 seconds earlier. It's better to be pleasantly surprised than egads shocked. Ladies, that will be the fastest coffee date you ever had. Get your shit together. I'm glad women show pictures of their kids on dating sites. I used to complain about that. Pictures of their dogs. Everyone's kissing their dog. Everyone with their more beautiful girlfriend. I used to be like, why are they showing pictures of their kids? Now I kind of like it. You know why? Because I want to see what kind of freaks that she has as offspring. I want to see the multiple pierced daughter with the purple hair. I want to see the skinny son living in the basement with Dorito-encrusted hands. I want to see what a loser of a parent she is. Or not. Because I enjoy seeing the son in uniform graduating from police academy. Or Camp Lejeune, United States Marine Corps. Or receiving a plaque on stage wearing a blue blazer. I want to see that. Those are the little signs and signals that she was doing something right as a parent. I want to see the daughter with trophies. Those right there are part of the vetting process. When I see that, I get a smile on my face. I don't want to see the freaks. I won't hire you because I looked at your social media and I saw filth, hate, division, and the wrong mindset and groupthink. You define yourself by what you're against, not what you are for. There's nothing there leading me to believe you can add value to anything. Therefore, I wouldn't hire you. Couple things real quick. Fan Robert did a painting Knowing that I am going to be ending up in Florida, he thought that this would be good for me. He's been a longtime fan. He has a channel, Sun Arrow 86. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your content, sir. Thank you. Also, a box came from Adam. Great letter, which most of it will remain unread, but he sent me Lapsang Souchong tea, Russian Caravan, and a bag of vintage Syrian tobacco. Been a long-term watcher. He has a website that I'm going to put down below for bachelors. That's a fancy old-fashioned word for men who are not getting married. But he writes me a great letter. I asked him if he would do a video with me. He will probably be doing Rabbit Holes with me, my new show. He says, enjoy the enclosed if you have any interest in an interview, survival, negotiation, as suggested in your recent email. Great, as long as you can coach me a bit on how to set up Skype or whatever you want to use. If you no longer have interest in that, that's cool too, because it would require me to be serious for more than 5 consecutive seconds, and that is tough. I told you, I love the way this guy writes. And in closing, this is classic, and in closing, I would like to quote the immortal words of Marcel Marceau, who said, some of you will get that. And then one last letter for the day. Suicide is not the answer. I've been watching your channel for a while. You have many good videos with thought-provoking content. This past Wednesday, TJ, the owner of a personal training gym I've gone to for a few years, committed suicide. He found out that his wife cheated on him. Another man zeroing himself out. His last message was a Facebook rant about his wife cheating before he pulled the trigger. He was a great man, always helpful and kind and motivating. He touched so many lives, and the spontaneity in action was just so completely out of character. He built his business from the ground up. He had great client retention. First class was at 5 a.m. Last class was at 7:30 p.m. I admired his work ethic, passion, drive, etc. that he had for his business. I appreciate the tools he taught me and the push he's given me to not stop and pursue excellence. A man is remembered by his last worst deed. I cannot remember who said that, but I would prefer to remember TJ for the good deeds and positive impact he made with his life. I would appreciate anything you could do to let people know that suicide is not the answer. Thank you for your time, Matt. Matt, I will do that. Suicide is a permanent answer to a temporary problem. Number 2, all problems are temporary. If you keep saying that she is the love of your life, if you keep putting her on a pedestal, if you keep saying things like, I don't know what I would do without her, guess what happens? When she's gone, you won't know what to do without her. No longer train yourself to die, and you'll be fine. And with that, I'm going to say, I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show. Finish your coffee.